Namaskaram, Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, slokas 24 and 25, because both the slokas deal with the same subject. So in these two slokas, Bhagavan says, completely renouncing all desires arising from the thoughts of world, one should restrain the senses from all sides with the mind. Slowly and steadily, with conviction in the intellect, the mind will become fixed in God alone and will think of nothing else. So, how to do meditation successfully with the thought of God? We have to do two things. One is removing the mind from the material world. Number two, fixing mind on God. This is what explained by Bhagavan in the slokas. So when you get thoughts of people, thoughts of objects, thoughts of the incidents happen in our life, those thoughts attach us to the material world. And once the thoughts are in our mind, very frequently they keep rising up in our mind. We want those thoughts to turn into action. So that becomes sankalp or sankalp and vikalp. So that depends on the positive and negative factors. That is, what we think and what kind of thoughts we have. Sometimes we have thoughts of liking one person. Sometimes we have thoughts of disliking someone. So, these two, this positive as well as negative, they decide the action. So, the thoughts come and they keep going around in our mind, and those thoughts will drive the mind to go into action. So this cycle will be going on, and this will disturb our meditation. That is why Bhagavan says, don't have any thoughts. Because the thoughts, they grow as a plant of desire. So remove them completely. So how to remove? You detach yourself from material world. Then you will not have any disturbances for meditation. Instead of the thoughts of objects, thoughts of person or thoughts of material world, have thoughts of God in your mind. Though it is difficult, but we can do it by continuous and determined effort. So Bhagavan is very practical, and he says this, though it is difficult in the beginning, but once you start it and doing it regularly and with a determined mind, you will do it. So Bhagavan talks about mind very frequently in all these chapters, because that is the reason for all our actions and for a concentration, for focused mind. So how to fix our mind on God? By reading scriptures, by thinking of God, by chanting sloka, by singing on Him, and by listening to the Upanyasam, by reading Puranas and all the scriptures. So you understand the nature of soul, nature of self. So you think of that. So your thoughts will be only around the soul, around self, around Atma. Then you will slowly get into that. So your meditation will, when you do meditation, you can have your mind fixed only on God. So this is how we can do. And the power of discrimination comes with conviction of intellect. So your mind should develop a power of discrimination. What is good, what is bad. When you understand this, then you are convinced with what is good. Then you will think of only good. So the intellect will be only with the good knowledge. When you are in spiritual path, you are divine knowledge, you get only divine knowledge. That divine knowledge makes intellect divine. That is, the intellect will be only with good knowledge. So intellect will have the control over the mind. Then the mind will be only with thought of God, because intellect says that don't have this kind of thought, remove that. So it gives instruction to mind. So mind can be without any thoughts, any thought of material world. So it can fix, the intellect makes the mind fix on God. So this is how it is possible. So we should have that controlled mind. So for that we should use intellect to control mind away from senses. Once you have that subdued mind, you can achieve this meditation with focusing mind on God. So the thoughts of objects are not to be encouraged. They disturb the organs, then they disturb the mind, and that desire takes place. So all these have to be removed. Desire, when you talk about desire, the desires, you find the desires are of our own, or desires are borrowed. When someone does anything, for example singing, we also like to do the same thing. So I like to be a singer, I like to be a dancer, whether I can or not. We don't know about that, but still we want that because the other person has got that. So that is the borrowed desire. So you should be careful in not acquiring that. So if you have controlled mind, you will not do that. And the desires are within ourselves. For example, the desires we call sankalpa, that is certain thing. For example, when you think of a house near the sea coast or on a hill station, you find, you're just imagining that how nice it would be if I am there. So that kind of sort is it. That desire is from our mind. And certain desires arise by sense organs. We touch it, we feel it, we taste it, we hear it, we see it. So the sense organs create the desires. So the desires are from sense organs, the desires are from mind. And all these desires have to be removed. Because we should have only the desire to attain God. That is, to realize God. For that you should have that Atma knowledge. The knowledge of Atma, that Atma, you should be thinking of Atma. And when you are thinking of Atma, you are in, that Atma is in union with Paramatma. So that is what we all want to achieve. That is our winning post. So we are moving towards that. So meditation is a tool for that. So how to do the meditation? This is what Bhagavan says. So Atma Sugam, Atma, the pleasure you get from Atma. Because Atma is on its own, is cheerful, Ananda, and it's happy, and it is self-illuminated, and it has got knowledge. So we have got everything within ourselves, that Atma is within ourselves. So let us do the inward journey and realize it. So if you deal with the desires, then what happens? Nothing is ours. We cannot claim anything. Is body ours? No. Is time ours? Even time is not under our control. It is not ours. So nothing is ours. So we should understand what is mine, what is not mine. What is mine is Atma is only ours. So we say I am Atma. So nothing else other than Atma is ours. So why should we struggle to attain that? So how will you get this kind of knowledge? When you remove that pride in your mind, mamakaram. You should not have I and mine in your mind. Both have to be removed. So the intellect decides that when you are Atma. So what should not be there to reach that stage? Mamakaram, that pride feeling should not be there. You should not feel that this is mine. I am body. So all have to be removed, and there should not be any pride feeling regarding the material you have. Nothing is our own. We are enjoying as long as we are alive. And we have borrowed everything from God. He is the owner. We are not the owner. So nothing belongs to us. Only Atma. So even after we die, the body goes off, the Atma takes another body. So this is the truth of our life. So we can't claim anything, and we can let us not go after them. And to get such materials, we develop enmity, we develop hatred, and we develop all negative qualities. So let us turn away all this from us and fix our mind on God. So this is how you can reach. So Bhagavan explains these two in our in these two slokas, how to have the mind without any thoughts of material world and fixing thought on God. And he has been explaining how to realize Atma, then how to do meditation. He has given explanation and detail about the place where meditation to be done, how the seat has to be prepared, what are the materials should be used to prepare the seat, and what kind of place. The place normally, it is the place which does not surrounded by the people, the place which has no noise, the place which has got positive vibration. Where do we get the positive vibration? Only in the presence of God. So we keep God's picture in front of us and do meditation. So we absorb that image in our mind. So only that image is like Durva. Once Narada taught Durva how to do meditation, he picked up, he grasped so quickly and he followed it, the instruction given by his guru. And he fixed the Rupam of God in his mind. And Bhagavan appeared in that Rupam. He could not even believe when he just opened his eyes, he couldn't believe that the God, the form in which he had God in his mind, just standing in front of him. He thought that God went out from his heart. So he had that jerk because he was in a shock. So this is how we should do meditation. So for doing meditation, the place, time, surrounding, everything is important, and how to prepare is very important. And we should fix time so that we inform others also, so that others will not disturb us. We will not get phone call during meditation time. So when you are in meditation time, you are away from all this material world. Initially, you are only during the meditation time. But as you do it regularly, you find mentally you are away from that material world for longer time. The time grows because of your meditation, the practice of doing meditation every day. So your mind is under control and keeps you away from material world. So you don't claim anything as yours. We say nothing is ours, nothing is ours. So no desire. So this kind of thought only you have. So you are giving up all the material thoughts to the material world itself. So you don't have that. So your mind is now fixed only with the God. So you are ready to do. You are ready to do meditation with focused mind. You are now, you have very determined and strong and bold intellect. Because intellect is only driving us. So this is how it happens. So you should have the question within ourselves. If you see anything, you should say, no, I don't want this. I don't want to. What am I going to enjoy from this? I am not going to get any pleasure from that. So as you keep saying to yourself, you will not have any desire towards that. So you will not have thought of that material in your mind, whatever it is. It's an object or a person, whatever it is, you will not have it. So slowly you start thinking on Atma, and you attain in course of years or months, depending on our practice, you attain the state of perfection. So you will reach the stage of God realization. So Bhagavan has given us every step to realize God. He has shown us beautifully. The steps are very easy for us to follow. And He is taking us from simple to complex. He started with simple, the divine knowledge. Then He talked about controlling senses, controlling mind. Then Karma Yogi, so slow. Now He is talking about Atma, how to realize. Then meditation. But through meditation you are realizing Atma and Paramatma. And let's see the story. Once there was a Rishi, Parasara Rishi. He was searching for a place to do tapas. If you read Purana, you find the Rishis, they choose places to do meditation, tapas, because they do it for months together, years together, and they do severe austerities, and they are very particular about the surrounding. So they search and they get answer from God. God Himself gives them guidance, and God Himself tells them the places which are suitable. How Tirumashai Alvar was told to do meditation at Tirumashai, which is near Chennai. So here Parasara Maharishi was asked to do meditation near Tanjavur. So he started doing, and he was disturbed by the Rakshasas. And so many Rakshasas were there. And in Ramayana also we have seen how in Tandaka forest many Rakshasas were disturbed Rishis, they killed Rishis, and once Rama came there, the remaining Rishis, those who were alive, they requested Rama to save them from Rakshasas. So Rama killed many Rakshasas for the sake of Rishis. So here also you find Parasara Maharishi was disturbed by the Rakshasas. Then he did penance on Shiva. Then Shiva sent Kali, the incarnation of Parvati. And Kali killed. There were many Rakshasas. Most of them were killed. Only 3 were most dominant there. So the Rishi did penance on Shiva, Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva sent Kali. Then Kali killed Taragasura. Then there were 2 more there, Tanchaka and Tantaka. And Maharishi Shiva asked him to do penance on Lord Vishnu. So this Rishi did penance on Lord Vishnu. Then Vishnu agreed to help him because he was impressed by the way the Rishi did the penance. So he appeared, he came in the form of Narasimha, and he killed the Tanjaka Rakshasa. That is why that place got Tanjavur. Then one more was there, the Tandaka. Tandaka he hid in the Loka, which is below the earth. So Bhagavan took the form of Varagar, the wild boar, and he went inside the Bhulogam and he killed Tantaka Rakshasa. So all the Rakshasas were killed by them. So here in this place you find Maharishi was able to complete the penance. His penance was on having darshan of God. The Rishis used to do that because they think of, now I should see Bhagavan in this form, I should see Bhagavan in this avatara. That is what they used to do, and Bhagavan appeared as per their wish. So here we find 3 deities in the same place. So one is Nelamega Perumal, the other one Veerasingha Perumal, the next one is Manikundram Perumal. So the Manikundram Perumal, that will be on a small hill. So this place, this is very important. This is one of Divya Deshams, 108 Divya Deshams. So this place, Manikundram, this Manikundram is very famous. Maharishi could complete his tapas here. So the place, some of the places are most suitable for doing penance. So the penance has been, meditation has been an important aspect of our culture, that Sanatana Dharma, and reaching God, to attain moksha. So that's why we also pay importance to meditation, because when we do meditation, you are developing the positive vibration, because you don't have any other thought. Your thought is only on God. That is why it is positive. Because Bhagavan is of divine qualities, very compassionate. He had consideration for, he has towards everyone, consideration for everything. He is ready to help. He is cheerful. He is beyond all the three gunas. So you have positive vibration when you do meditation. So in these two slokas, Bhagavan explained, and the rishis, the saints, the alvars, they lived as per the scriptures. That is why they had the darshan of God. That is why they attained moksha. So the goal of this birth is, we have taken human form after many births. So the goal of this birth should be only attain moksha. So these are the ways Bhagavan shows us to attain moksha. There is a Pasuram by Thirumangai Alvar. This Pasuram is from Periya Tirumali. என் செய்கேன் அடியேன் உரையீர் இதற்கு என்று மென் மனத்தே இருக்கும் புகழ் தஞ்சையாலியாய் பொன் பெயரோன் நெஞ்சம் அன்றிழந்தவனை தழலே புரை மின்சை வாழறக்கன் நகர் பாழ்பட சூழ்கடல் சிறை வைத் இமையோ தொழும் பொன்சை மால்வரையை மணிக்குன்றினை அன்றி என் மனம் போற்றி என் நாதே. So here in this Pasuram, Bhagavan is described. That is, Alvar describing Bhagavan. He says, you are the one who crossed the ocean with the Vanaras, and you killed Ravana and you destroyed this place, because he was very bad. He was a follower of Adharma. So you did that, and that is what mentioned, but that is what explained by Alvar in this. So he says, tell me, for I am a slave. I am a slave. What can I give back to you? You are doing so much. What can I give back to you? So you have done everything for me. So I do, what to give back to you for everything you are done to me. So you are Lord of Tanjai. Tanjai is the place where Maharishi, he did the penance, and now the Sanchaka, that Rakshasa, was killed by Narasimha. So that is why it is Tanjai. So he is referring God here as Lord of Tanjai. You open the chest of Hiranyan, and you have gone to Lanka, and you destroy the place and the ruler. And he says, he is a large, that is God. Alva says, it's a large golden mountain and diamond hill. My mind will not to anyone, pray anyone else except this hill. So that hill is Manikundram. Kundram in Tamil, that is hill in English. So this Manikundram, I am worshipping only you. So you are the only one who can protect me. So I am surrendering myself to you. So Alvars lived the way Bhagavan told in the scriptures. Let's follow that and lead a very peaceful life. Let's not attach to materials and get disappointment and frustration and all these negative emotions. Instead, let's keep our mind calm and pray or do a meditation on God and have a peaceful life.